Well, hey, how you doing? I am not trying to attack nobody. If I react to a video, it's because somebody sent the DM to me.
10 things I'll never do even if you paid me. Well.
Is it worth it?
Trust that exactly where you are is where you're meant to be. So keep your chin up so your crown doesn't fall. Remember, you're royalty.
I am in a great mood. It is equivalent to that feeling where your sisters have been fighting on the line, because there aren't that many good cosmetologists out there, but there are a few, by golly, and we've been going through some shit about 15 years, probably longer than that. And so for us to finally be getting the respect that one is due, it feels good. I am not gonna lie, because we have been saying all of this stuff forever.
I'm not going to sleep going like this, girl, and it's what I hear. What do I hear in my ear? Squishiness. Because my hair is wet. I'm not going to sleep with my hair wet. I don't want no deep conditioner in there. I don't want no water in there. I don't want nothing up in there. I want my hair to be dry, or at least close to dry as I'm going to bed. Why? Because in the past when I've done that, I've gotten dandruff, yeast build up, mold.
Nasty.
Now you need Towelex, scrubbing bubbles to get the stuff out your scalp.
Put that down.
When you're sleeping with the bonnet on, it's dark, it's wet,
and
it's scary. Yeast and scalp bacteria start to come out to play. They put on their freakum dress and they start tapped into all over your scalp. And also too, what I hear from stylists is that will over time weaken the integrity of your hair. So like keeping it wet all the time is just not a good idea. Moving on, number 3, I will never ever be leaving.
What ends up happening, that acid combines with the sebum that is left over and it turns into a yeast. Oils and acids that come out of your scalp will turn into yeast if not properly cleansed. Sleeping and walking around with conditioner in your hair. Now, I know that you read the product labels and all of these different things, and I know that on YouTube, different people are telling you, oh, you can just use a conditioner as a leave-in conditioner, but I am telling you, sleeping in conditioner and leaving conditioner in your hair and using conditioner as a styling product is the #1 way to get moisture overload.
Oh, I feel this, if I had one, it would be like right now.
Rubber bands at the root of my braids way past due. If you don't take out them braids, you like drinking expired milk? Because that's not the only thing you like that's expired.
What?
That joke felt so hard. Like, I'm exhausted by how whack that joke was. Your braids is expired. And the rubber bands at the base of those braids, especially when your hair is dry, it breaks off the hair at the roots, and I always come out looking ridiculous
and ugly and unattractive. But that is okay.
It always takes me like 6 months to a year for that breakage not to be so visible anymore. At the very least, I will cut the rubber bands out free before I'm ready to take the braids down.
No!
Or 2, I'll just spritz some liquid leave-in conditioner around the roots and along my braids until I'm ready to not be lazy no more and not be reading myself, until I'm ready to take the braids out. Number 4. And I know a lot of y'all about to be mad at me.
Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said.
I can no longer use creams by Carrie, butters by Brittany.
What is going on?
Balms by Benny, leave-ins by Laura, Dina's deep conditioner, shampoos by Shelly, Harry's hair milk. It's not going on my scalp no more, or my hair. It's not coming nowhere near me if it don't got a preservative in there.
He's talking about homemade.
Give me the preservatives. I'm not using y'all homemade baked up products.
Ooh, Jesus.
I'm getting worked up. Ooh, let me calm down.
Yeah, and that's why most of y'all have seborrheic dermatitis, eczema, and all of these different things in the scalp. These are all follicle disorders from y'all buying products made by people who don't know what they're doing.
Because they messed up my scalp, or I got some kind of overgrowth of yeast on my scalp from using random products that were sent to me from like these small businesses. I want to support the small businesses, but if you can't have something that is shelf stable sent to me, what do you expect? I just want to be cute. I don't want to have yeast and stuff growing on my on my scalp because I decided to help out a small business. Let's just double check. Let's just make sure every party involved is going to be safe after the transaction. I personally just need people to be a bit more thoughtful about that before they send me a product. And that's no shade, no shade.
No shade.
No shade.
No shade.
Number 5, I will not be trimming my own hair. Never. Never. It's giving stare.
Pause. I will not be trimming my own hair ever, never. I wonder, before he gets started on this, there was this one girl, I don't know what her name is, but she had this whole speech for years on diva cuts, diva curls, how it's messing up the hair industry, and how y'all need to stop doing diva cuts, and how diva cuts and diva curl people was on some bullshit, and did nobody want to believe me. And something that's funny, it was the whole diva cuts era that started all of this. Let's go rewind back in time.
Now this one is very, very dear to my heart, but first let me tell you that I am starting by saturating my client's hair in silk fusion therapy, and I am combing through her ends to up into her roots. So they were out of town and they came across a salon that specialized and is really big on cuts, right? I'm gonna try very hard not to say their name because I don't got nobody trying to talk about me with YouTube, try to say somebody owe them some money, girl, because I'm talking about them girls. So let's just say it's a hair salon that specializes in curly hair. Now, by specializing in curly hair, I mean they cut curly and natural hair wet. Now, everybody has their commentary and their opinion on cutting natural hair wet. I don't care what anybody says. Cutting natural hair wet is the worst thing you can possibly do. Like, look, okay. Now you can see, now that we're to the middle. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. You see that? Yeah. You see that? Yeah, that's what happens when you cut people's hair wet, because you can't see. You guys, you can't see. You might as well cut someone's hair blind if you cut their hair wet. If you cut somebody's hair wet, it needs to be a person that never wants to wear their hair straight another day of their life. Look at that, you guys. Oh my freaking God. Oh my freaking God, bro. I was so, like, I wanted to I literally wanted to cry. Like, I know it sounds so petty, but I'm like, Lord, you guys, stop cutting people's hair wet. Like, please stop cutting curly hair wet. It makes your hair uneven, and I have so many clients that come to me for the very first time, and then we have to cut so much hair off because not only is their hair a little damaged, but it's uneven because they've been going to these salons that are like, oh my God, yeah, I can cut your hair wet, you don't have to straighten your hair. You guys, please understand that it is a business, right? So if people are going to try to maximize on the industry, and right now all of you guys are crazy about wash and go and wearing your hair natural and not wearing your hair straight. So they're like, oh, let's come up with something that we can do to make sure we're still able to make money when half of the population is wearing their hair curly. What can we do to make money when they wear their hair curly? And this is what they've done. So, oh my God, if you're gonna be a person that goes and gets your hair like cut like this, please understand that you are not going to be able to wear your hair straight and have even hair. So when you come to a hairstylist like me and then we have to cut a lot of hair off, this is why, because it is not going to be even.
The video, because he could possibly be saying something different. Who knows? I don't know.
It's choppy. Actually not right now because I've gone to a professional to get my hair trimmed the last time. But before then I would just do the twist method. It was all the rage, girl, on YouTube where people would twist their hair up and then they would take some scissors and just cut off like an inch of every twist.
Seek and destroy. Seek and find.
Girl, it just doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't make sense even to me now that I think about it. But before it was making a whole lot of sense because I was like, oh, a free trim, I could do this at home. But now thinking about it, because my hair personally has so many different curl patterns, and when I say so many, I mean like 2 or 3. It's just tighter in the back and looser in the front and tighter around here. If you straighten your hair, if you stretch your hair out and then you cut all of that straightened hair or that stretched hair to the same length, when those curls revert back, they all have a different curl pattern. So some are going to revert back and shrink closer to your scalp, and some aren't. And so you just end up with a choppy cut.
Somebody ain't doing the math right.
That's why I've always gone to the Divashon salon in Soho, New York. Shout out to the Divashon salon. They closed down. Oh my God.
She passed away? Oh.
I loved all the stylists there, and they did curl by curl cuts. You can get your, curly haircuts nowadays.
Pause. Curl by curl cuts. Listen, I know that sounds nice, but that is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. Not him, because it ain't his fault. It's the fault of the people who made that up. The average person has 100,000 follicles on their scalp. So 100,000 follicles, I'm talking about 100,000 holes on your scalp right now, and in each one of those holes you have 1 to 4 strands. Now your density is going to be determined by the amount of hair that you have within each follicle. Somebody that has 1 to 2 strands, like 1 strand per follicle, you got super low density. Somebody with 2 to 3 strands per follicle is about medium density, and a person who has 4 strands in each follicle is somebody who has extremely high density hair. Okay, now when we're talking about this stuff right here that he's talking about, the average person, when you do the math, I said 100,000 follicles on the scalp, 1 to 4 strands. That means that the average human being has anywhere between 100,000 and 400,000 strands on their head. So can you please explain to me how exactly you cut hair curl by curl? That makes no sense. How does that make sense? You're cutting each individual strand at a time? No, you are not. There's no, the diva curl, the stretch curl, the whatever curl, if they cutting your hair wet, they don't know what they were doing, and they were feeding into a fad, because the average person has 100,000 follicles. Even if you take something that looks like one curl is really about 700 strands. Just one curl, one little curl is about 700 strands. So you're not cutting the hair even when you're cutting it curly. That's the science of hair, regardless of the way that you want to try to make it out to be. And this isn't towards him, he's just saying what he learned. But I want y'all to pay attention to what all of the people in these videos are saying. Anytime I do a video like this, there's somebody like, oh, they were doing what worked for them. No, they were doing what worked for all of the people that followed them, because even though now, and I'm not talking about him, but even though now people are done with the natural community, there are hundreds and thousands of people that hung on their every word and made the thing that worked for them work for them. So now everybody has to dig themselves out of it, and now that everybody is stopping all of the stuff that's causing hair weathering at the same time, now everybody's confused. For years I have been telling y'all that hair weathering takes anywhere between 6 months to 15 years to show up, and if we do the math on how long the Team Natural community has been going on, we're about at that 10-15 year mark, baby. Okay, so everybody is starting to see the hair weathering and stuff set in. That's why week after week, month after month, you see a new favorite YouTuber done with the hair industry. Let's go.
At just about anywhere. So I'll just pay for a trim. I ain't doing that at home no more. Now, number 6, this is gonna be a quick one, is wear hats for too long. I think sometimes, especially in the fall, or when I have braids, which is usually like in the fall, I'll throw on a hat and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cute. I also like being able to wear a hat, because oftentimes I can't.
No, I love that.
Why do you think that's so? I just can't put them on my head generally. So when I have braids and I can put that cap on, I put that thing on tight, okay? When my braids get frizzy, it's a nice cover up. But what it does is it worsens my dandruff, because it's creating that same kind of greenhouse effect environment when you go to sleep with a bonnet on and your hair's wet, where it's just creating a dark, moist environment underneath the hat, and that just is breeding grounds for the
dark, moist environment. The whole Team Natural community has been built on building a dark, moist environment.
the terrorist. I said what I said. Those things, it might as well be knives. You might as well be scratching your scalp with a whole fork, a pitchfork. There's no way y'all are using that and being comfortable with it. I purchased one or two, I think, actually, because I thought I was going to do a giveaway with it. But as soon as I used it, that little plastic hard thing with them little spokes on it, I said, no ma'am.
No ma'am.
If I'm going to use a scalp massager, I like to
and
use
don't
something
use
that has a
that
rubberized,
one.
like rubberized
Use
tendon.
this one.
Scratching your
This is
scalp
like
can cause so
one of
many
my freaking
issues and infections.
favorites. Like
Just
favorites. I'm
painful
gonna go
in
get
general,
the
so it's just not worth it.
love this one. It's super easy. It bends. It's super
I
nice.
will never
It
be
goes
washing
with the
my hair
curvature of
again
your
with
head and
scalding hot
everything.
water. I've seen you up close and personal, sis. I know what you can do.
Hey, clown.
It causes so much frizz unnecessarily, and you know the science behind it is it makes sense. Heat kind of opens up your hair cuticle. When you have hair cuticles next to each other, they're kind of like pulling and tugging on each other with each other's opened cuticles, and that kind of causes the frizz. None of the hair strands can like lay neatly together. I also feel bad. Like oftentimes I'll think of my hair as like a living thing, and I'm like, why would I ever like throw a hot pot of water on it?
It's just some shit that you don't do. Why would you do?
So with that, that's not true. First off, who puts boiling hot water on their head? It's the same exact. I think the problem that most people have is that they separate their hair from the rest of their body. So whatever temperature your skin can take is the same temperature that your scalp can take. When you say hot water, when we say wash your hair with hot water, it's not like, oh, as hot as you can take it. No, you just want it on the warmer side. Like you're never supposed to do it like to the point where it's boiling hot when it hurts. You're always going to do it at a temperature that's comfortable for your body, a temperature that feels good, right? But you can't go as far as to be like, oh, it only has to be cold or lukewarm, because lukewarm water or cold water isn't opening the cuticle properly. And the only reason that you're washing your hair in the first place is to open the pore, to clean the inside of the pore and on top of the pore, and to open the cuticle to clean what's on top of the cuticle and what could have gotten into that first little layer. That's the objective. That's the only reason that you're washing your hair, for no other reason, right? And as long as whenever you put the conditioner in, you rinse the conditioner out with cold water, it's fine. Like you won't have any frizz. But the problem that most people have is most naturals will be like, okay, I'm gonna use shampoo but no conditioner, or I'm gonna use shampoo but then apple cider vinegar as my conditioner, or I'm gonna use this shampoo and then a different conditioner. That's what's making your hair frizzy, because the chemist didn't make the shampoo from another company to have the cuticle being shut and the pH neutralized from another brand and another conditioner. Shampoo is acidic and then a conditioner is alkaline. They balance each other out. So as long as you have a product from the same brand that has the proper level of acidity and a proper level of alkaline to match each other, then you will not have frizzy hair. And most people have frizzy hair because they're washing their hair wrong. Most people think you gotta go like this. The cuticle lays flat. The cuticle isn't going like this unless your hair is tangled. This is why I've been telling y'all for years to detangle your hair with oil, a non-comedogenic oil like hemp seed oil, right? Because this isn't going to block the follicle, it's not going to block the cuticle, and it's going to make it easy for you to detangle your hair. Once your hair is detangled with a non-comedogenic oil that's not putting weight on it, unlike coconut oil, what ends up happening is it's super easy. Your cuticle is already laying flat and already relaxed when you detangle with oil first. You're basically giving your hair shaft a massage when you detangle your hair with oil first. And then once your hair is detangled with oil, you're only going like this to shampoo your hair and using vertical motions on the scalp. You will not have a raised cuticle. That's not what it'll be. And once you put the conditioner on and you let the conditioner flow out of your hair normally, you're not rubbing the conditioner into the scalp, and you let it flow out normally with cold water, that cuticle is gonna close. Whatever the hair needs will be locked in. And when I say locked in, I mean it'll the cuticle will be able to operate properly, right? And then after that, you could just style and go on as normal. It's as simple as that. But
Yeah. Huh? That makes me sick to my stomach. Why would you do that?
That's mean. Stop it. Yeah, it's lukewarm over here. That's all I gotta say. It's giving very much temperate. Number 9 has to do with these bad boys.
What is that? I'm scared.
The fingernails. I will never do my hair again without clipping my nails first. My strands don't stand a chance if these cougar nails, not cougar nails, these tiger nails come out to play when it comes time to twist my hair up or whatever the case may be. Like, how many times you gotta do your hair and realize that your nails are snatching every single hair strand out of your head before you just clip them before you do your hair? So now I have my nail clipper always on deck, and it's so funny that a nail clipper
I don't know if I agree with that part, because I did hair for 15 years with nails like this. So you are going to start noticing all of this stuff in a really big way. You are going to start noticing your favorite YouTubers saying some of these things, all of that, all right? Curl typing. Now, stylists like me, more cosmetologists like me, more scientists like me that come out and give y'all the truth about it. Now these brands can no longer stand behind some of these influencers that taught y'all the curl typing chart to begin with. A lot of the same YouTubers that taught you guys the curl typing chart are now done with the Team Natural thing all together. To be co-washing. People are starting to see that the majority of their breakage is coming from their wash and goes. Okay, I know I've been telling y'all to do wash and goes, but I'm tired of making hair content, or I'm tired of doing this. I want to now start, blow drying my hair. That's all that happened. I really hope that this video was a little bit eye-opening and informative to you guys. Here is another video from a woman that I really, really respect, that is woman enough to be out here like, hey, I thought this is what I was supposed to do, and because I was doing this, I had seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff, whatever.
I have had dandruff since I was a preteen, until I figured out how to stop my dandruff. I had to stop putting heavy oils on my scalp. And I also learned that the oil that your scalp produces on its own, which is sebum, is more than enough to moisturize your scalp. Now, there are some people who have a low production of sebum. That is possible. And if this heavy stuff that I thought that I needed, that was actually causing me dandruff and buildup. And I only know that that was causing the dandruff because I no longer do that, and I don't have dandruff.
Like, there's so many different YouTubers coming out saying, hey, I had seborrheic dermatitis, I had dandruff, I had psoriasis in my scalp, or all of these different scalp infections, and they all say the same thing. When they stopped putting certain products on their scalp, or when they stopped greasing their scalp, it was like nothing ever happened. This is storybook. So you already know what it is, y'all. Like, I've been telling y'all this forever. So we got one or two options. You can either check the, or you can do both of these. Check the playlist left in the description box below, where I have gotten together all of the videos that I have been making for years. There are over 1,000 videos on this channel. And for the last however many years I've been on YouTube, I have been preaching this stuff. And I am so happy to see in 2022 you guys seeing everything that I was trying to avoid you guys from walking into is now happening. All right, so you can prevent this if you really need help. Like I said, go ahead and check out that playlist, right, and do your research. These videos are free. But if you need me to give you my step-by-step simple plan, then click the link in the description box below and join my 7-day challenge. But I'm gonna tell you, if you are a person who cannot let go of twist styles and Team Natural hacks, I don't know, like, I don't want to say it's not for you because it works for everybody, but don't take my 7-day challenge if you are not ready to kill all of the old things that they were teaching y'all before, so y'all can learn some new stuff. And I can promise you something, what I am teaching in my 7-day challenge is the most simplistic way to retain length and to help you with your different scalp disorders and more for a very low price, because it's so simplistic. And I know for a fact that it works because I've done this 7-day challenge on over 45,000 women over my 17-year career. So if you want to get in on this 7-day challenge and start making better decisions and undo all of the stuff from the past, then click the link in the description box below and I got you. But yeah, if you want me to react to another video like this, and make sure you slide in my DM on Instagram and then go ahead and just send me a video link like this and I will react to it and explain it. But yeah, this is where we are. I hope that you guys are understanding what I mean when I'm telling you guys to pay attention to the science of hair that never changes.
Trust that exactly where you are is where you're meant to be. So keep your chin up so your crown doesn't fall. Remember, you're royalty.